Hey guys, in this video I'll be showing you how to use the Hairpoon Fade Kit. This specific kit is a 0 to 1 and it consists of 2 guards. The first guard I'll be using is a double-sided taper guard. My guards do not clip on like traditional guards. I've designed them to slide onto the lower blade. The high end has a notched edge. If you're not paying attention and end up accidentally using the taper guard upside down, you'll feel those notches on your ear before you go too far. Hopefully, at least. The first passes I do with the taper guard start at the base of my neck and I end up arcing over my ear. I'll come back and do this process in reverse, but the first pass works better for me if I'm cutting against the grain. Don't dig in with the teeth of the guard. Let it sit flat on your head and glide. Also, note the way I'm using like a raking motion. This works really well to help the teeth get under and lift up the hair to get a proper cut. While you're cutting, make sure you're listening to the hair being cut by the blade. You want to repeat the same passes until you hear less and less hair being cut. You can use your free hand to stretch the skin over your head. This will make it a little bit easier to get all the hair. You got all these little dents and divots in your head, so anything you can do to kind of straighten those out and get down in there will be helpful. Real quick before we get into it, it's really important for you to understand the bone structure of your head, just the shape of it. You have what is called the parietal ridge, which is on the side of your head, and then on the back of it, you have what is the occipital ridge or occipital bone. So go to the 1 Minute Barber's YouTube channel, watch the videos that I have on the screen right now. These are self-haircut videos. He explains the importance of the bone structure of your head, and his method is actually what you're mostly going to be using when you're using the Hairpoon guard. Leave him a like, subscribe, maybe even a super thanks. That'd be really cool of you. But back to the video. This red line is my occipital ridge, and as long as I stay under it while I'm using a taper guard, I'll be good. Now that I've finished my initial passes against the grain, I'm going to do the same process, but starting at the front and I'm cutting back and down. I'm placing my index finger over the occipital just to give myself an idea of how close I am to that imaginary border, still using the raking motion. The red pass was my initial pass. Here I wanted to be able to show you that I have options with the taper. You can go as low as you want or high as you want, given you stay under the occipital. Any hair below the 0 end of the taper can be cut with no guard on your clipper. You can open up the lever on your clippers if you want a little more wiggle room. If you're new to this, it's actually not a bad idea to do your entire haircut with the lever all the way open. You can always go back over it with the lever closed if you want to. This is the Hairpoon. The previous guard is made to fade the bottom portion of the hair, whereas this one blends the sides into the top. This red line here is the parietal ridge. This is where the teeth of the Hairpoon will start to leave your head as you cut up while maintaining contact with the stem on the guard to the side of your face. The pressure distribution of the guard needs to primarily be on the stem. This will help you avoid rounding over the top of your head, which if you're used to buzz cutting your head, you might naturally want to round over. Just try your best to resist. With this guard, you just want to go straight up. You don't have to flick out, don't round over, just go straight up. Don't think too hard about it. It's pretty simple. Look closely at the back of my head. My hair is sticking out right around the occipital. That's where the taper guard cut across the back of my head. The portion you see left behind here will be blended out using the Hairpoon. All I have to do is tilt my head downward and ramp off that part of my head, following its natural trajectory. The solid white lines is where the guard is in contact with my head. The transparent lines are where it's leaving my head. This guard will comfortably fit around your ear. I designed it before I even thought about designing the taper guard, so you can actually use the Hairpoon by itself, which was the original intent. This is what I was talking about before regarding the function of the Hairpoon. You need to plant the stem to the side of your head and cut upward. The teeth will start to move away from your head. As the guard moves up and cuts, it's also pushing some hair out of the way. You want to repeat the process of cutting in an upward direction, but you need to comb the sides down so you can continue to blend the sides into the top. This is no different than what you've already seen. I'm just repeating the process and listening to hair being cut. If you look closely here, you'll see what I mean by pushing hair out of the way as I'm going up. Yeah, I'm cutting some, but some of it's just being pushed upward. And that's why it's important to comb it down and repeat the process until you don't hear any more hair being cut. Here are the end results of the haircut. All in all, this took me about 18 minutes to do, and I could have done it faster if I wasn't filming it and being strategic about positioning so I could show you guys how to use it properly. If you want to pick up a fade kit, you can get them at hairpoon.bigcartel.com. Currently, I'm only making these guards for domestic clippers. You can see more details on the website as far as which models these fit. If you want to follow me for updates, I post mostly to Instagram at Operation Hairpoon. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments below. And thanks for watching.